So there is a feature called Advanced Dispensing, which enables you to use external labs and also to get a little bit clever with dispensing your own products. For example, you can put a single vision lens on, you can state which coatings are available within which power ranges, and the system will cross-reference that with the patient's prescription and only let you dispense them if it's available. You'll have to speak to One Vision Hive to turn on Advanced Dispensing, but generally free of charge on the package. You'll also need to go to the admin menu control panel, and if you want to use external labs under the one, you can actually choose your primary lab. In this case, we're using a lab called One Vision Lab, or OVL, so we've put it straight in there. Underneath that, you've got an option, primary lab default action. What this is basically saying is that when you buy an order, you can have the option for it to go straight to the lab automatically. In which case you'd set it as TTL, transfer to lab. If you want the option to actually check the order first before you order it, parameters, price, etc., just set this as to order, and that will mean it will give you a chance to review the order. So let's have a little dispense. We'll put the patient up. With Advanced Dispensing, basically you end up with another tab, a DX tab, and this is basically the smart station that allows calculations to be done. Within that, we can add a dispense there. Similar to dispensing, we can choose what sort of lens we're using here, or we can do a frame only if you want in that lab to send you a frame, for example. We'll select a pair here, and it tries to be visual as much as possible. So if we put the search for a certain frame, we'll go for forward frames here. When you search for this, you get 3 tabs. You get the tab of your own options. If you're part of a larger group, you can actually see your company products here. Because we've added OVL as a primary lab, we now see their products. So that's all the products they know about, but potentially products they can actually supply as well. I'll try and find one that they stock in a with these Tom Ford ones here, the lab's aware of them, all the parameters are in, so you don't have to put the parameters in. But actually these aren't stocked, so you can't order a package of these ones. We'll just have a quick look at something you could order as a package. I think the Franklin ones are stocked, so if we search for that, yeah, so these frames here, look, in green it says stocked. So if we were to order one of these, let's order this nice blue one. There we go. We can order that as a complete package from the lab, basically. When we're actually wanting to select a lens, we're going to have to put some information in first. By selecting the frame here, the details are on for the frame bridge size, eye size, ED, which will help us calculate blank size in a minute. That information is already on. If you're adding products, you need to make sure you put that on for this to work. We can then select a prescription, which is this patient, so we've got a 150, nice 150 here. Pupil measurements in as well. Let's go for 64. At that point, it will start doing calculations of what lenses are possible, and down here it's now showing us all the lenses that are possible. If you were to scroll, you've probably got hundreds of lenses here. We can narrow it down somewhat, so we can actually click here on the index. Say we just want all the 1.5s, that will locate down to 1.5 lenses. We can select a certain type, so we could select a certain brand. I'm going to go easy on myself. We've got a lens pre here called a Perfect Fit, which is a surfaced single vision lens. I'm going to click that, and it'll actually give me only one option in this case, which is nice. I could also further take this down to lenses that are tintable, micable, etc., etc. Similarly with the coatings, whether they're MAR'd or etc. Okay. Once I've decided this is the lens for me, I can click select right and left here. By the way, I can also see if I've got a couple of options here. This gives me the expert mode, and if I click that, it'll give me different variations of the lens. What's happened here, I think we've got I'm not quite sure actually. We've got a different version at £60. It looks like the same lens to me, something slightly different. The system hides the more expensive options and gives you the more affordable options. Expert mode though will show you all of them. So for example, if there's different blank sizes, it would choose the most appropriate and hide the rest. Clicking expert mode will show you all the blank sizes. You've got an information button here which will show you the cost price. The reason so here, look, we've got £3.30 a lens, £6 a lens here. The reason that's hidden is because you actually want to show the patient this screen. You might want to walk through with them and say, how thin lenses, what lens do you think you want, what tints do you want, etc. That allows you to do that. And pressing that one there will hide the cost price so you can show the patient. So when I'm ready to select, I literally just click select and away we go. It put in further options potentially. Now on this lens here, the blue is the attributes the lens has. The greyed out ones are the options it has. So once we've selected the main lens type, actually have the option to tint it or not. I'm going to select in this, we can put all the options for different tints. I'm going to go with a clear lens that isn't tinted though. And then when it comes to the coating, we can leave it a basic lens with no coating, which is included in this price, or we can click here, we can add these anti-reflective choices. Let's say we go for a blue protect on that. Your prices are indicated down here, so you've got your frame price £199, the remember was £20, and then we've got this additional 40 here. Adding it all up, it adds it onto the lens here. If you're ordering from a lab internally, some labs will give you the option to post direct to the patient. If you click here, you'll see those options here, whether the case is included, whether it's not included, etc. The default would be for the patient to collect in store, so that means the lab's going to send it back to you, or if you're doing your own, that's what will happen. When you're ready to buy that, literally you can total it over here, and then you can click buy. If you did, by the way, if you wanted more dispensers, so this is a distance pair, if they also a reading pair, just click this, it'll add a second line on there for you. In this case, we're going to do that one. When you're ready to buy, simply click buy to the till. Go to your till screen there. You can have a quick recce and confirm you're happy. When you click New Balance there, it's there for you to pay for, discount off, whatever you need to do. It'll also, whilst we use the DX screen to build the dispense, it will still in your dispense screen as a line here, which will show you all the updates, etc. Once you've because we set it to order and not to lab, that hasn't gone to a lab at the moment. But if I click back to our main home screen, you'll get a little indicator up here, which tracks your dispensers through the day and it explains that there's a job to order. So it'll list all your dispensers to order here. If I then click that, back to that dispense there, I've got a few buttons that I can mess about with, one of them being this pound sign here. If we click that, and this is a job that we've selected to go to a lens, to a lab, it adds, it shows us who's supplying what, if that makes sense. In this case, the Advanced frame is supplied by the lab, as are all of the lenses, if that makes sense. And you a total price of what that's going to cost you as a customer. When you're ready to order that, simply click this to order button here, and you'll be able to select that. If you click place order with OVL, it'll go through to them, they'll make it and send it back to you, depending on which option you selected. If you didn't want to send it to the lab, say you've actually decided you can probably go through a different lab with this, or you're going to make it in-house, for your own benefit, you can click on order here. It'll update the status there.